Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all your debt.
7 hours of entertainment with one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world taking on the famous Derek Chisora, right? Forget the main event for a minute. Selby Cambosa's unbelievable. Savannah Marshall against Hannah Rankin, England v Scotland for the world middleweight title. Belfast Tommy McCarthy going for the European title. Dave Allen against a knockout artist, Chris Lovejoy from America. We've got Amy Timlin for the Commonwealth title. You've got Cash Farouk. 7 hours of entertainment. What else are you doing this Saturday? You ain't going out to the pub. You ain't going to a nightclub. It's $19.99. This is pure value to watch potentially one of the greatest fighters of our generation. And if Del Boy can do it, it will be the greatest win by a British heavyweight potentially ever. Anyway, back to the coffee. Who am I backing? Look, I think Del Boy is a massive underdog in the fight. But you know what? Behind closed doors, it throws up some weird stuff. You got Usyk, you know, his best buddy, Lomachenko, just got beat. Is the mojo a little bit low in the camp? But Del Boy's, he's got to get inside, he's got to get on his chest, and he's got to make it horrible for him. Bethnal Greenfish, shout out. Got the DM, I'll check it out. I've got to get involved in a bit of Bethnal Greenfish. Billy Croughton, what's happening? What happened to Brooke? Listen, the Brooke stuff, been and done. At the end of the day, I'm loyal through and through. Verdict on Saunders Murray. Do you know what? I think Saunders Murray's a good fight. I think a lot of people just presume Billy Joe's going to win that with ease. But when you go in Cambridge, I am speaking at the Cambridge Union tonight. Don't you know? Did Brooke respond? There's nothing to respond. Listen, he's had his say. I don't want to fall out with the guy. I love Kell Brook. Love his family. But at the end of the day, you know, you make your bed. Looking nice and tanned. I've been away. This is not a little Essex sunbed. No, it wasn't a turbo tan, James. I've been away for the last week in the sun. You look like you're sat on the toilet. I'm not. I promise I'm not sat on the toilet. A54. No. I'm not having this. What's going on with Callum Smith? Trying to get a date right now. Saunders needs to behave outside of the ring. I'm on that, and I think he will. Warrington news coming very soon. He's going to be fighting Kanzu, hopefully for the Ring Magazine belt and unification. Can Chisora go the 12 rounds with the intensity he needs to beat Usyk? One thing's for sure, Del Boy has the engine to go in for 12 rounds against anybody. But he is going to get hit at angles he didn't know existed. But I'll tell you what, Del Boy has worked his absolute nuts off for this fight. What's Joe G saying? Got the apology. Yeah, I'm done with that one, mate. I'm done with that one. Give a Hempstead Amateur Boxing Club. Shout out to you. Akib Fiaz, what's happening? John Slyn 2000 says, you are a clown. John, let's be honest. You and me, who's the bigger clown? Left to the body, right hand over the top. Good night, Usyk. Mark Robinson, are you available for corner work this weekend? John Hedges, what's happening, mate? Parker Farr, great fight. Shazim, how you doing? Who does Fury fight in December? Do you know what? Like, I think that it's between Caballero and Takam. I don't even think he'll fight Takam. I just think he wants an easy touch. Listen, fair play to him. Waddy, what's happening? You look like Woody today. Yeah, I'll take that. It's nice. Who cuts your hair? A lady cuts my hair called Danielle. She's good because she understands the need for crafty combing. Just there. Hair transplant will be dropping later this year. What's Katie Taylor's next move? She's fighting on November the 14th. Massive triple header. 3 women's world championship fights. Great new book. Thank you. You know, I wasn't going to mention the book, to be honest with you. This little bad boy here, right? This drops on Thursday. Available for pre-sale now. A lot of people have asked, is that actually me? Yes, it is. I hope you enjoy this book. I'm quite proud of it, actually. You can get it on pre-sale now. And listen, tomorrow I have a special one-on-one with Ray Winston talking about the book and a lot of other things. You can swipe up on my story, actually. You'll find it there. You look like Ted Bundy. Thanks, mate. Jordan Gill, what's happening? Eddie, have Sky run out of money as said by Tesco Joe Gallagher himself? No, Sky have not cut any money. Let me just make one thing clear. It's so frustrating when people talk about fighters taking less, and they're not particularly, like, you know, people said, oh, do you think Usyk and, you know, Wyatt and AJ are taking less money? There's less money in the pot. When you talk about a fighter's purse, it's decided by the revenue of the show. Right now, there is no crowd. Do you understand? Eddie, have a word with Coogan about his Det KO advert. Listen, he's got to do what he's got to do. What's your thoughts on Sky Box Office Premier League? I just think that at the moment, with no crowds, it's killing sport. So people have to try and get creative to come up with ideas to keep things moving. I always think with pay-per-view, you know, as much stick as you get, it's up to you. I know you want to watch it for free. But when you lose a £2 million gate at the O2, and by the way, Usyk Chisora was pay-per-view with a gate. Now we've got no gate. In fact, is there still time to put the pay-per-view price up for Saturday? Do we think that would go down well? Let me know in the comments. That was a joke, by the way. James Dean, you can't win. Are you scared of Warren changing your dates for him? No, I'm trying to do the right thing. What's the news on Demetrius Andrade? Will he fight Williams? Happy to fight Williams. Christian Courtney, Shamon. Richard says 10th round KO for Del Boy. What's the drink? This is like, I believe it's like an Americano. The Romford Bull. Yes, Big John. Big John, me and you got to go for a Chinese one day, mate. You're a legend. Will there be another YouTube fight? Who knows? Not on the horizon. What round do you think AJ will take Pulev out? I think it's a great fight. I think it's a very risky fight. I think AJ will knock him out between rounds 6 and 8. Chisora looking strong and powerful. Mate, so revved up for this fight. Are you still cool with Kell Brook? From my end, 100%. The Romford Bull, Tevin Farmer rematch. Yes, I've got to speak to Tevin Farmer today on that, actually. What do I think of No Context Hearn? Let me tell you just a quick story about No Context Hearn. So, this guy approached me from... his name's Andy, he works for the NHS. Can I do this No Context site on Twitter? I was like, yeah, mate, whatever. Anyway, went from like 1,000 followers, 10,000, 100,000, 300,000, whatever it is. Then someone created No Context Hearn on Instagram, but it wasn't Andy. And these guys have had massive beef, so much so that someone has actually, I think they've had the beef where an account's been removed. So I'm now appealing to all No Context Hearn creators. Let's just live in harmony with each other, because we all need to spread the banter. So guys, work together. Let's keep these pages going. What on? Irrelevant, boring, old, yesterday's news. Out of the way, excuse me, we're coming through. Bert Lyons, what's happening, mate? Boxing Bully. Who's the A-side in the Joshua Fury fight? Come on, Barack. What's going on, mate? What do I think of Spencer Oliver's new hairline? Very impressive. Very impressive. What's next for Callier fight? You know what? I was thinking about him this morning, actually. The Manly says, Derek! When am I entering the bubble? Tomorrow morning. By the way, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. This company got in touch with me called Wild Fangs, right? And it's like a company where you can go and interact with animals and like kids' parties and stuff like that. Shout out to Wild Fangs. And the guy wrote to me and he said, I watched some of your interviews where you've got to think outside the box at the moment. Things are very difficult. So seeing as Usyk Chisora is on Halloween, how do you feel about doing some kind of Fright Night content with horrible, creepy animals in the bubble? So we are creating something this week. I've seen a list of insects and creatures. It's going to be really funny. What did I think of the True Geordie podcast? I really enjoyed it. Do you agree COVID is fake? No, because I've had it and so's my old man, and it definitely ain't fake. Can I give a shout out to Pat Keys? It's her birthday. Pat Keys, happy birthday. Do I think Takam will be a test for Fury? Well, you know, when AJ boxed Takam, apparently it was a mismatch. So we'll see what you think. Chisora did nail Takam, knock him spark out. Shout out Jazza Dickens. Why did Warrington duck Shakur? Not in a million years. We made offers to Shakur Stevenson. He didn't think the money was right. No problem. Still 7 figures. Jeez. Kezar, no I didn't. The hair isn't looking too bad today. Yeah, I've got a bit of a tan and I've just got the crafty combing right. I've just got to keep that bit in there. But at the end of this year, we have a little bit of work in here. On here's not looking too good, mate, to be honest with you. Scott Fitzby Fowler, yes, look, we're trying to get Fitzy back in the ring. Shout out to Paul Henderson. KD, I've got your signed copy here, my man. Where do I think Wilder will go from here? Look, I think I like Wilder in the division. But I just don't know what he's doing. Get on all right at Cambridge last night. Cambridge is tonight. Cambridge Union. It's an honour to be speaking there this evening. Egg and Cheese, tried to make that fight. Didn't work out. We'll see if we can do it next year. Why does it seem Bob Arum tried to stitch you? I just think it's Bob. Ray Winston online. The legend, Ray Winston. Me and him tomorrow. If you go to my stories and swipe up, you can join me and Ray Winston for a chat tomorrow. Legend. All these shout outs. Shout out to Mike Oxmall. Shout out to Eddie Martin. I reckon there's a few wind-ups in here. Shout out Luke Wilkinson. Just to let you know, I've been listening to a song lately. I don't know if any of you like Tracy Chapman, obviously, fast car singer, but she's amazing. And have a listen to the song Space Between by Tracy Chapman. Love it. Is Pulev injured? No. Usyk 8th to 11th round TKO. Ben James, stop this shit, mate. You lot are winding me up with the shout-outs. I know I'm going to get stitched up with one of these, so I'm not doing anymore. Lawrence Okoli will be on the AJ undercard. He's going to be fighting for the world title. When do you think crowds are allowed back in? We are pushing every single event. Realistically, I think AJ's got a good chance. What do I think of Khabib retirement? I think Khabib is a legend. I mean, I don't watch a lot of UFC, and I didn't watch his fight. But what a classy guy! Selby win. Right, guys, listen to this. Listen to me carefully. 1,700 of you on here. Listen. On Saturday night, I know we've got Usyk, Chisora, everyone's talking about that. Lee Selby against George Kambosos. Final eliminator for the IBF world title. This will be Teofimo Lopez's first mandatory, whoever wins this fight. This is a great, great fight. Rugby or football, mate? Football. Oh, here's one. Shout out to Ben Dover. He's a big fan. Okay, mate. Definitely. Terrible banter, by the way. Lampard podcast out in a couple of weeks. Tomorrow is my podcast with Gary Lineker. BBC podcast out tomorrow. No passion, no point. Why should we go out and buy your book? You know, guys, you know me. I mean, I'm not someone who, you know, likes to oversell anything. But this book right here could literally change your business and life. This talks about the relentless spirit, the work ethic, the mindset, the drive, the passion to operate at the top of whatever you do. It talks about success. What is success? It talks about happiness. It talks about making sure you don't neglect what's important in your life. It talks about the skills in business, from selling to negotiating, to delegation, to teamwork, to all the stories that have taught me to get to where I am along the way. And before you all chime in, yes, I do have a rich dad and it was a help. Yes, I know. But I did take it to another level. And a lot of rich sons, I think, spunk it all and actually don't get anywhere. And I've outdone the old man. So that was a joke. How many hours do you usually work per week? I would say I work for 14 hours a day, 12 to 14 hours a day. I think now we're talking about Relentless, the book, mindset. How are we all feeling at the moment? I mean, where's your mindset at? Are you miserable? Are you motivated? Are you excited for what lies ahead? Who is more irritating, Sam Jones or David Higgins? Do you know what? I actually really like both of them. Thanks, Tracy. I think it was touched up, that picture, to be fair. COVID full of opportunity. Look, there are huge opportunities out there, but it's difficult times. And I just think right now you've got to work twice as hard as you've ever worked before, because it's twice as hard as it was before. But again, cheap pump for the book. It has to come from the underlying passion to love what you do. Because if you don't love what you do and you don't have passion for what you do, how can you be relentless? Which is actually the name of my book, which comes out on Thursday. I didn't know if you knew about it. It's this here. Yeah. What YouTube channels do you refuse to interview with? None. I don't refuse interviews. I'm available for weddings, bar mitzvahs, christenings, anything. Costin Gregory, good point. Are the books sold in America? So, actually, I've surprisingly, had a lot of emails from people who are trying to buy the book in America, and the release date is later. So I spoke to Hodder, who are speaking to Amazon, to bring the release date forward for the book in America. Failing that, I will just get a load in a suitcase and drive all over the country and knock them out on street corners very soon. Eddie to go into Celebrity Jungle 2021. Kitty Catty, how do you get so rich? You have a wealthy father and manage to somehow not spunk it all. Is your book on Audible? Yes, it is, and I narrated it. Pulev injury rumours. No, this was put out, Daryl, by a fake Twitter site saying he's injured. Are you giving your book to Frank and Bob? Do you know what? That's a good point. I'm going to send them one. Is AJ afraid to fight Tyson? Don't be ridiculous. Cheers, Richard. Boatsy Yard, great fight. How you doing, Wayne? When is Rocky Fielding up next? Actually made an offer for Rocky to fight John Ryder. Wanted to do that rematch, but I don't think he's ready. Shirts from Tom Sweeney, correct. What was the idea behind the book? On a serious note, I've got a few people asking me to do an autobiography, like stories about boxing, of which I have many. But I'm 41. I think autobiography should come when you're like a little bit more done. So I wrote this book in lockdown, and I wanted to write a business book because everyone just thinks I'm an internet meme. Ben Davison, I haven't had the Barnet done yet, mate, but yes, I will go with you if you fancy it. I'm definitely up for that. What's the pic in the background? You can't see because of the light, but it's Muhammad Ali standing over Sonny Liston. There's like a dove here, and he's got a crown on, and there's some graffiti stuff. Historical fighter you'd love to promote. Sugar Ray Leonard. Do you know what? Like, two of my favourite fighters of all time. One was Pernell Whitaker, and one was Meldrick Taylor, which some of you might not even have heard of. Eddie, do you want to do a card in Oz? Trust me when I say Matchroom Australia is coming. He's coming. That's not George Foreman, mate. It's Sonny Liston. Best heavyweight, in your opinion, ever? Do you know, when you watch the Ali fights back, you don't realise how tough he was. I mean, everyone thinks that, you know, Ali was dancer and mover, pretty. Mate, his chin was unreal. What do I think between Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell? Great fight. Campbell for the win. Kugan Cassius, add me banter of Doctor. Yeah, great stuff, mate.
Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all your debt.